Welcome back to the channel. I'm not going to be playing games on the Miyoo Mini Plus today. I'm going to be putting that off to one side. Get that right out of the way. I've just received a little parcel. Now this is from uk.whatgeek.com. So they've currently got a sale on. So at the moment, I think the sale runs until sometime between the 27th of September and the 10th of October. Now at the moment, let me just look with my mouse here. At the moment, I think you get 10% off site-wide on whatever you buy. 13% if you buy 2 items or more. You get free shipping in the UK. And if you spend a lot of money, like £250, you'll get £40 off for the code. And there's also some deal where you get a free box of switches or free caps if you spend over 90 quid on a keyboard, I think it is. I used a 10% site-wide coupon. So, what did I buy? I hear you cry. Well, it's not very big. Can you tell? It's not very big. It's a small package. Well, the product's in here. It's been on the market for a few months. It was selling for about £70 or about $70 or $80 in the US, I think it was. It's marked down on What Geek from $67.99 to $49.99, which is a good saving, plus 10% off. You're actually rounding that up to an extra £5 off. So for £44, you can have one of these. Let's get open, see what it is. I'm just going to make a hole, I think, today. These scissors, they never get any better. I'm not going to go at them with a big knife though, that's not my style. And we're in already. So, unlike my last parcel, the Miyoo Mini, this will come in a box. You see it's getting smaller by the moment, isn't it? So, some more sellotape to cut through. And we're in. My goodness. Well packed. And we're in. Here we go. So, it's an Anbernic RG Nano. And something else behind it. Oh, a 12% off coupon. Support What Geek. Okay, it's quite thick. There's your code if you want to use it. I'm going to check that out, because I was going to buy something else from their website if this arrived quickly. Now, I did order this about a week ago. It's taken quite a while because it's UK stock, but it's arrived. Small case, 64 gig Anbernic RG Nano in blue. So I think most people seem to buy this in red. It's an okay little box. Nothing special, it's quite basic. It's a little bit loose actually, it'll open up quite easily. Nice little bit of gold trim around the edge there. This thing's tiny, look. The actual box it comes in is only just taller than the Miyoo Mini, and it's only just thicker, and it's about the same width. And that's the entire box. Okay, let's open it up. Look how much smaller it's got. Oh my goodness. So you get a very small operating instruction. This is what I've kind of got used to getting from Anbernic. I've only got a Win 600 from them, and the instructions that came with that were okay. Chinese on one side, English on the other. And I think in most unboxings, people just say, oh, there's a USB cable in here, I'm not interested in that. There's a little keyring, I'm not interested in that. Nobody's going to put on the keyring. The USB cable I may use right enough, but wow, this has got some heft. When it was in the box, it felt really light. This is a chunky monkey. So it's in a little bag. A little baggie. It's got a little cover on it, a little foam cover, and there it is. It's like a little baby. It's cold to the touch actually. So up here in Scotland it's quite cold just now. So this has been going through the postal service for a few days, but wow, it's got a little bit of heft. See that? This is small, fits my hand, I can play it one-handed, and it feels light to the touch. This is much smaller, but it feels heavier. Now obviously it isn't heavier, but I think just because it's compressed, everything's in a smaller package, I could probably still play this one-handed. So what I have been playing a lot of is Advance Wars, Game Boy Advance game, and that's the first one I'm playing. I'm just about to finish the main mission. So I might actually play the second one through on this. How crazy do you think that would be? Look at the buttons, it's like little toy buttons. They actually feel pretty good though. The D-pad, I've been told, moves around a bit when I watch other videos, and You can see it. It does a little bit, but have they changed this? It's not as bad as I've seen in other ones. Quite a nice little D-pad actually. I mean, you got to remember how small this is. Those buttons on the other hand, though, you know what these remind me of? They remind me of the buttons of my Innuendo Air Plus. It's got very small buttons compared to most handhelds. I mean, these are relatively small but quite easy to use. I think the Innuendo's got similar size buttons to this, but they are absolutely tiny. So let's quickly go around it. We've got a speaker grill on the bottom, a little fake Game Boy one there. We've got a start and select button, with the D-pad obviously, ABXY and the Nintendo layout. On this side we've got an SD card. Let's try and pop that out without it pinging across the whole world. And it is a no name 64, and it's left marks on my finger. A no name brand 64 gig. So I'll be changing that shortly. We'll get that backed up. We've got a little power button, I'm guessing that is. Bumper buttons, which are clicky micro switches compared to the nice soft dome buttons here. On this side, nothing there. Speaker and button, like I said, and a little bit for the lanyard there. I don't know, would I put this on? Probably not. I don't think so anyway. So I think in the box we'll have a charging cable and we'll have an aerial connection, not aerial, an earphone connection, sorry, to go into the USB. We'll just check that actually, why not? Make sure it's all there. Should all be there. It's a soft foam. I like these packaging when it's like minimal waste. Doesn't have to be overly fussy. Yep. So there we go. We've got a cable where we can plug that in, and then plug your earphones in. Just okay, I suppose. Bluetooth that would have been better, but well, we're not getting that, so we'll just have to get on with it. And quite a thin USB-C cable though, so I can't complain. USB-C. Close up on the back there. So 5 volts, 4 watts. It's quite little hex head screws in there. I don't know if you can quite pick them up, 4 of them there, but yeah, it's nice. It feels nice. So I don't go out my way to buy strange little curios. I mean, I do like to have a handheld. So in this one, this has replaced all the old handhelds I've got, the ones that I've probably reviewed before and that I'll pick up very rarely. I'll play them for a little while. I can't get the emulators working very good, and I just pack them away again. This has been just out of the box. It reminds me of my Absolute in a way. So I bought the Absolute and I set it up to my PC and I've done no configuring. I've just played it stock. It's pretty much the same with the Miyoo Mini. I have installed Onion OS on the SD card. It's in the bottom there, isn't it? And I've done almost nothing else. I've put some extra ROMs on. I downloaded a ROM set, put some extra ones on that I had that I wanted to try out. Some worked better than others. I put some ports on. That's really all I've done with that. And I just play it all the time. This, well, I can see me using this quite a lot. I might buy a little tiny, I don't want to buy the leather case thing that's for it. It just makes it too bulky. I like the fact that it's small. This could fit in your pocket easily. The problem is if you put it in a pocket and accidentally put keys in, it would get scratched really easily. So I'm thinking about, you used to get these mobile phone socks, way back when the iPhone was kind of a new thing. And it just looked like a little sock and you slid it in. I'm going to try and see if I can get something like that for this, so that it can stay in my pocket safely. Won't stop it from knocks, but it feels quite sturdy, but it will stop it from scratches. So what I have to say is, I don't know if this comes up the camera, but front and back cover aren't quite the same shade. They're both very nice, but they're slightly different. Not sure if that's coming up. I'll try turning the flash on the camera. Maybe I'll pick that up. Front's more blue than the back. The back's more of a, well, this is more of a sort of vivid blue, and that's slightly more of a vergent on a, well, I'm not going to say navy, but you know, a darker blue. Get it there a little bit, see that? I don't know if the red model's like that. I've seen quite a few reviews on red models. I've not seen many reviews of the blue ones, a couple. But yeah, it's definitely a different shade. Anyway, turn that back off. Let's turn it on, let's see how we get on. Now, the camera's not doing it justice. This is actually very sharp. I've noticed that with quite a lot of other videos that have been posted. That Anbernic loading screen, it looks like it's a little bit blurry, like it's a low pixel count, low resolution, but it's actually really decent. This is a bright little screen. Pretty impressed. So, ST, enter the system, ST set the time. Well, which one is it? Certainly not that time. Well, that didn't work, did it? We'll go into the settings at some point. Now, I haven't got the best eyesight in the world. I don't wear glasses, but I wouldn't say I've got the best eyesight in the world. But I've heard people saying they can barely see this, and that's clear as anything. Maybe my eyes aren't quite as bad as I thought they were. So you can reboot, you can power off applications, you've got the Application Explorer. This interface reminds me of my game park holding, can't remember what the name of it, something 200. It's, I've got a video on that, I'll put a card at the top if you want to watch that. That's a really old game emulator. So I'm going to get this off my finger, that came off that SD card. Doesn't want to come off, whatever it is, a bit of black. So there's a media player, a music player, another music player that's in Chinese. So we've got G menu 2X, we've got change of scan, we've got a user manual, change of wallpaper, reboot it, power it off, and that's back to the start there. We've got the Explorer, we've got the clock, we've got input tester, how we go with an hour away. And apparently that was the wrong button. Oh, brilliant, I've changed my language. What's happened there? Ah, dear. Turkish, Swedish, we don't want any of them. English, that's better. Deary me. So last option on, I think we'll want that, just so we can play games, turn it off, turn it straight back on. Output logs off, button repeat rate, whatever. Can we get out of here? There we go. Let's try that again. Oops. Oh, there's some emulators here now. What have we got? Game Gear, Game Boy. I might try a bit of Tetris in this. I think that could be quite a lot of fun. Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance. Well, we'll try Advance Wars on that. Oh, I'll press that button at the top again. Oops. Lynx. It's certainly going to look pretty good. The Lynx, I like my Atari Lynx. I've got a couple of them. In fact, I've got 4, embarrassingly. 2 of the Mark 1 and 2 of the Mark 2 version. And I actually took it on holiday with me quite a lot back in the day. The Mark II model anyway, because it has a big visor thing that went over the screen so that you can actually see it in bright light, and a battery pack as well, which was quite good. So yeah, I've got quite a big Lynx. In fact, I think I've got almost every Lynx game that came out. Multiple copies so that you can play 2-player games, multiplayer games, and a Comlinks cable, so I'm going to enjoy playing a bit of Lynx on this. Master System, Mega Drive, which will be the Genesis for you in America, the NES, PS1, Pokemon Mini, which I've never played any of. Some, what's this? SDL Retro Test, so I'm guessing that's going to be some retro arcade stuff, which might be quite good fun. SNES and WonderSwan. So it doesn't do a lot, but it's okay. So what's it saying here at the bottom? It says 10.5 out of 53 gigabyte free. So there's a lot on this. Oh, and near Geo Pocket as well. I've got one of them too. PC Engine. I missed the whole screen there, didn't I? I was too busy scrolling quickly. Let's have a look in Game Gear. Ah, they've numbered them. I hate when they number them. Why do they do that? It's terrible. Tons on there though. Absolute tons. Hopefully you can say, oh, I pressed the B button and it's gone back to the root folder there. That's pretty cool. Not. Now, apparently you can get this to a different interface. I can't actually remember what it was, so what I'll probably do is push that button. Ah, you can do the volume there. Okay, I didn't know about that. Up and down. Brightness. I'll keep it for brightness, certainly. Set launcher. Let's try that. Are you sure? Did that change the launcher? Right, so I press the ST button now? No. Yes, perhaps. Yay! That's a much nicer little layout. Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Nintendo, Super Nintendo. Look at that up closely. That's quite hard to make that out. The font isn't great on that. Game Gear. It's not terrible. I mean, you hold it up close to the camera, it actually looks pretty good. Sega Master System, Genesis, which I've said was the Mega Drive earlier, TurboGrafx 16, Lynx, Geo Pocket, WonderSwan Color, PlayStation, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance. We're going around circles now. I should see my batteries. Can't see that there, can you? Yep, almost flat. So what I'll do is I'm going to give this a little charge up, and I'll cut back to some gameplay. Stick around. So here we have part 2. It's all set up. So part 2 has been filmed in day 2. So this arrived last night, and I used the original SD card as you saw, fired it up, saw that there was some games installed. There wasn't much. Now I already had a ROM set that I was quite confident worked really well. So I copied it onto the little RG Nano and ran into problems right at the start. So almost every emulator I tried worked fine, except for the one I really wanted to try on it, which was not that. We'll get there in a minute. Atari Lynx. I loved Atari Lynx, and I really wanted to play some Lynx games. So I couldn't get my Lynx games working at all. Big shout out to Shadow on the Retro Games Discord channel, who helped me out with my corrupt ROM set. I mean, it seems to work okay on my Miyoo Mini, but not on the Nano. But it's working now, that's all that matters. What I have done is I've installed custom firmware from Drum78. It seems quite nice, to be honest. And I've not actually settled on a layout just yet. This one looks quite nice. It's quite easy to change it. You just tap the button on the side, you get the menu coming up. Scroll until you get to the theme, and you can change it to whatever you want. So there's Pixel Plus, I think that's quite a nice one as well. Takes a little second, and away it goes. And what I will say is, the big issue that everybody talks about online about the clock that always comes up, if you install custom firmware, no clock. So that's always worth doing. So let's have a look at Atari Lynx. I want to try a little bit of APB, which was one of my all-time favourite games. So let's just see how we can get on. Now, the one thing, in fact, no, we'll start a new game. The one thing you can't do with this is remap the keys, or at least I haven't worked out how to do that just yet, because it's A and B, and I would like to maybe map to a bumper. Maybe no. So, emulation on this works great. And I have to say, this tiny screen is better than the screen that came on the Lynx, which is quite a bad screen. So it's A to do your siren, B to drive, so you kind of have to rock your fingers about. Oh, and I missed it. There you go, got to get with your siren going. Oh, I'm so bad at this game now. Used to be good at this game. Could I blame it on the little screen? Probably, yeah. The screen's actually pretty good, the controls are a bit small. It's mostly A and B buttons. See if I can map it to the shoulder buttons. This game would be fantastic. Something I need to look into. Look at this. Brilliant. Okay, so Atari Lynx works well. What I do like about this is if you quit, it just automatically saves. So we'll just go back into APB and it'll ask, do you want to resume? And it resumes from that exact point. What I don't like in any of these emulators is you can resume game, you can new game, you can resume game, you can new game. But if you change your mind, tough luck. You have to go in anyway. So you have to load the game and then you can quit the game. So you can create save slots. You can load from a slot, change your aspect ratio, and exit the game. So I want to try, what game do I want to try? First thing I want to do is turn this volume down a little bit because it's a little bit high. It's quite good actually, that little one button brings up a menu to do lots of things. Oh, I seem to have some duplicates here, I need to fix that. How have I managed that? It's one of these things when you fix a ROM set, sometimes create more problems than you fix. Yeah, needs a little bit of work, this ROM set. Anyway, all the rest should be pretty good. So we've got Geo Pocket. I have got that one there, but what will we load up? We've got a right mix in here, a lot of Japanese ones I've not played, but King of Fighters, I've got that on cart. You may have seen that in one of my previous videos. I've got my A and B button mixed. I think I might do. Yeah, there we go. Let's do beginner mode. It's been so long since I played this game. I was never very good at it to start with. Let's go. Looks great on this tiny screen, by the way. Absolutely fantastic. Sharp as anything. Yep, I can walk into all those bunches. You know what's weird? When I play this on my Geo Pocket, you're used to that click, 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 as you're moving your stick around. It's so much quieter. Let's try another game. What can we try? So there's even some Sony PlayStation stuff on here, which is pretty good. I copied these across because there was nothing in there. I just copied a few files that I thought would be okay. I've not tried any of these yet, but like I say, I was too busy trying to get the Atari Lynx stuff working. Got that working now. I'll spend a bit of time neating it up shortly. But yeah, this has been quite good. It's surprisingly easy to game on. As long as your eyesight's not too bad, and maybe a little bit long-sighted, so hold it out a bit, and it's okay to play. Obviously, some of the text is a wee bit on the. See if we can get the macro lens coming on. Maybe not. No. But some of that text is pretty small. You can get by. Bear in mind, this can fit in your ticket pocket on your jeans. You know, it's tiny. Surely tried Ridge Racer, that would have been better, wouldn't it? Ace Combat's going to be interesting, but I don't think I've seen anybody testing that game, so let's try it. Now, I'm not really playing this the right way. I'm using two hands. This is great for doing things like Advance Wars, where you can just, you know, move around, take your move, move around, take your move. Games that are like that. Pokemon, these types of games where you don't have to button mash. Oh, it's got a way of skipping this. There we go. Oh! This looks really good. It's a PS1 title, remember? Oh, bounced off the ground there. Slow down. Speed up. Oh, I'm going to fly at the ground. This game looks cracking. Anyway, just a quick test here, so I'm just going to quickly exit this. I will show you. What else I'll show you? I'll show you the Picoarch core that's installed in here. So, well, I can't find what I was looking for, but we'll try a bit of Marvel versus Capcom. Let's have a look at that. So I'm old enough to remember most of these cabinets at the arcades, and I've probably fed quite a few coins into them. Some of these emulators and the cores are a bit slow in loading up, but you just have to be patient. Here we go. So some of them, you might find the display isn't scaled very well. So if you push the select button and the down arrow, you can change between different setups. So there's stretched, cropped, scaled, and none. And you have to go down on the button. So if you push up, it takes a screenshot, and if you press left and right, it doesn't do much at all. It just starts to, when it takes a screenshot, it really starts to go slow. But let's just try this out, see how we get on. Volume's a bit on the quiet side here, isn't it? So let's crank the volume up. That sound appears to be a little bit slow. Now, this is running at not normal speed. However, if I exit the game, now I have noticed this. Much as this little screen layout's much nicer on the eye, if you go back to the G menu launcher, so as you can see, I've got the emulators on here. I've got Final Burn Neo, Final Burn 2012, Game Boy Color stuff. I've got MAME, Lynx, Game Boy Advance, all the usual stuff I had in there before. So I think if we go to Final Burn Neo, and can't even remember what game we were playing. I think it was a CPS game, wasn't it? Street Fighter versus Capcom, was it not? There you go. Like I say, it's still a bit slow here. It might run a little bit faster in here. At least I'm hoping so. Sounds a bit slow. Now this is a low-powered handheld, but I would hope it would be able to play basic arcade emulation. My old emulators from 10 years ago could manage probably better than this, so this is definitely slow. Perhaps better than it was. Still a bit on the slow side. If I push the button on the side, you can bring up some menu options, but I don't think there'll be much we can change in here. Can ramp up the clock speed, so we could possibly try that. We could turn frame skip on, which might help, but nobody likes doing that, do they? Let's give it a little bit of a juice boost. That's 10%. That's feeling a lot faster now. What's this guy doing? Yeah, look, that's 110% CPU. It's certainly running a lot faster than it was. Sound audio, the audio quality is maybe still a little bit wonky. Yeah, it's definitely a little bit of crackling in that audio. I've just got a beat down there. I got destroyed. Yeah, it's a little bit slow down there, but that's not too bad. I've heard worse. Let's just X out here just now. What else can I show you? You've seen most of the other emulation if you've watched any other videos. What could I show? What I could show is how well this plays video files. So I've got a full rip. I've got the Thundercats box set. bought it so my son could enjoy what I enjoyed when I was a kid. And I've now got it all ripped onto here. And does this play well? It's absolutely watchable. If I was a kid when this came out, I'd be blown away. Kids haven't had it so easy, have they? Might have had a lockdown for 2 years, but Thundercats in your smallest pocket in your jeans. Wow. Anyway, let's pause that before we get any kind of strikes. So as usual in my videos, I like to say, should you buy one of these? My answer would be probably not. This is a toy. This isn't a proper emulator. I mean, the Miyoo Mini Plus that I have here, it's a handheld device. Can't even fit it on the camera at the moment. I'll zoom out. You know, that's handheld. That's easy to use. You can put this in your pocket. You can play games in this, no problem. It's a little bit of a joke, isn't it? But I have to say, I've had a lot of fun out of this in just one evening. So I would say, I got this for about £40. And I would say that was actually a pretty reasonable price for what you get. It's got a nice aluminium case. The finish is really good, albeit the colour matching is not the best. The SD card that's in it seemed okay, although I have replaced that. Buttons themselves, they all work. The little D-pad does move around a little bit. I hadn't noticed this when I first got it yesterday. But it is pretty good. The buttons all work. Those are a bit clicky, but all the other ones are soft buttons, and everything just works so well. It's great fun hacking about with it. And one thing I really like about it is, if you mount it on USB, when you pull up this menu, if you've got it plugged into your computer and it's charging, there's an option to mount it as a USB device. So if you stick a big card in this, you could use it like a portable drive. How cool would that be? Stick a 256 in it. If you're going about doing work and you want to use it as like a portable drive, you certainly can. You can use it as a music player, you can use it as a video player, you can use it to play games, obviously. Huge collection of games on this. So, about £40 for that, £40–45. And for that, you're getting a whole device that can play games. I could take my family out for a burger, it would cost more than that. Another product I've got, I reviewed this quite recently, this is a Boryuit V10 torch. It's a very small, very powerful torch. It's got two different types of lenses in the front there, multiple lenses here, and I just noticed this. Side by side, they're absolutely the same size. Not absolutely perfect, but pretty close. Height-wise, there's a little bit of a difference there when you hold them together, but this is what I'd consider an everyday carry torch, the sort of thing, or flashlight, the sort of thing you can put in your pocket. And it's so small, you don't even notice it's there, but if you ever need it, it's easy to hand. It does lots of things. This is a tiny little game console that you can have in your pocket all the time. It's always easy to hand. And it gives you lots of enjoyment. So, should you buy one from a strictly gaming point of view? Nah, don't buy one, that'd be silly. If you want a little curio in your collection, then this is definitely worth having. If you want something you could just grab and play for 10–15 minutes at a time, well, I think a Miyoo Mini is still a better device. But Miyoo Mini takes up a bit of room in your pocket. This takes up no room in your pocket. So you could take that. If you've got the money, it's probably worth having one in your collection if you like to collect little curios like this. But if you want to buy it for someone for a Christmas gift, they'd probably quite enjoy it. They'd probably get more fun out of this on Christmas Day than they will at the rest of Christmas Day, because those are always pretty stressful, aren't they? But the one thing I would say is buy a different micro SD card for it. The one that comes with it is just a cheap no-name, and it probably won't last very long. I would also suggest downloading or having your own ROMs, ripping your own ROMs and putting them on it, because the ones that are on the card that come with it, they're not great. They generally work, but there's not a huge collection. They're all numbered. Some of mine are numbered, but they're all numbered, which is not great. And other than that, if you do get one, buy something to store it in. I don't think the big case that it comes with is what you really want, but something small and slim. I did mention earlier in the video that they used to do these, oh god, about 20 years, or probably about 10, 15 years ago when the iPhone first hit the market. There were these little sewn sock things that you could slide it in. Something like that in your pocket would probably be good, but if you get one of these, it's aluminium. It can probably take a knock. It will probably scratch up a bit, but if it gets scratched up when you're using it, it doesn't really matter, does it? As long as you're having some enjoyment out of it. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye for now.